International Emmy Award-winning director Rihad Desai is joining me on Skype. His latest documentary, Julius versus the ANC, is going to be premiering on April 26th on Al Jazeera English, and he's here to tell us all about it. Hello, Rihad.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Very good, thanks.
I know you're a very busy man, so thank you very much for taking the time to chat with us.
Real pleasure.
So Julius versus the ANC, it's premiering on Al Jazeera English. I know the last time we spoke, we were talking about miners shot down. Why don't you briefly introduce us to what we're going to see on the 26th?
Really, this version of the feature-length film is a dance, really, between Julius Malema and Jacob Zuma. It shows how the decline of the ANC really begins in, 2010, 11, when Julius Malema starts making noises, starts demanding the promises that Jacob Zuma had made in his campaign to become president of the country, that those promises be fulfilled. Those would be jobs, free quality education, and the nationalization of the mines. It then takes us through Julius Malema's expulsion from the party, his involvement in Marikana, how the state responds in Marikana, through to the present day, where we're looking really at the rise of the reinstitution of charges around the arms deal, where the rot began really in terms of the African National Congress, the and state capture, the constitution, the violation, the ins and outs of parliament and the ruckuses there. It's filled with animus, it's filled with action, and it speaks to the heart of the problem that we're facing as a nation today. A president who's lost moral authority and what people are doing. Primarily, we finished this film in 2016. The force that was leading that fight, that response to rising levels of corruption, has primarily been Julius Malema, but you also see the trade unions, the National Union of Metal Workers of South Africa, as well as Vavi, Ben Turks in the film. There are lots of the former president of South Africa, Kgalema Motlanthe, in the film. There are a number of important voices that speak to this story.
Now, you've been following this story for quite a long time. I have to ask you, what's your take on what's currently happening in the country? We obviously saw demonstrations on Friday nationwide against the current presidency. What's your take on this? And since you've been following it for so long, do you have any predictions as to what could happen next?
Yeah, I think we're approaching a tipping point. I think the straw that broke the camel's back was the cabinet reshuffle, which seems to have been decided outside of the structures of the African National Congress, certainly the leadership structures. That list was put together with Jacob Zuma and his advisors, possibly his own lawyer, who we know now is involved in, is a shareholder in the SASA thing. We know that Treasury has been withholding, particularly the finance ministry, have been holding back on this nuclear 1 trillion rand deal, at least 1 trillion rand deal, because we just don't have the finances there. We know at the number of state-owned companies that we now know there's been pressure on contracts to go through to the Guptas. So we're seeing this sort of marginalized section of the black economic elite, sections of them getting behind Jacob Zuma and using the productive capacities, the money, the size of the Gupta empire, in order to enhance their own individual wealth. This has become so clear to people that Jacob Zuma is coming across as a proxy for the Guptas, um, that it's gone too far. And we've seen over 200,000 people last week, Friday, come out into the streets of South Africa to show their displeasure. The key question now is, can the momentum be built on that? Together, the opposition parties, together with civil society and the trade unions, hopefully the students will start coming on board to build a massive movement where we see hundreds of thousands of people coming out into the streets in a regular fashion over the next few weeks. I think that's a real reality, and how we got to that space uh, is really very much covered in the film showing on the 26th of April. Now, I don't believe the vote of no confidence coming this Wednesday on the 18th of April will go through. Um, the chances are will be higher if the secret ballot gets passed in court, that the Parliament's forced to adopt a secret ballot. But I think it now resides with the active citizens of South Africa who are waking up in very large numbers to the reality that they only have themselves to rely on, that we have to bring the power back to the people to force the ANC and Parliament to wake up, smell the coffee, to see the sense, to save our country from being further bankrupted by a very corrupt faction inside the African National Congress.